Hey friends, it is me, Bobby B. Thank you for being here. Today's episode is a replay of episode 8.1. It was when I had a very deep and philosophical conversation with luxury wedding photographer and educator KT Mary. And the reason that I'm playing it for you again today is because I have hundreds and hundreds of more followers than I did at that time. And I thought that this interview is really important. If you haven't gone back through the archives, you can jump in with this one right now. It's very pertinent to what is happening at this time and continues to happen in my career as well as in the careers that I help with my students. And it's what I learned from KT has really fostered a lot of things that I now do now in my business. And so I thought it was fitting that I would share our discussion in celebration and anticipation of my own group mentorship program that is going to be running again very soon. It's called Storyteller School. It's a 12-week group mentorship with multiple one-on-one coaching sessions with me. And what we do in Storyteller School is I really help you to break up with the pressure to be perfect. And I guide you into stepping into a deeper expression of your creativity through documentary wedding and or family photography. And how we do that is by truly understanding what you bring to the table. And very few of us can definitively say that with confidence. And that is the impetus of Storyteller School, for you to have that guidance and mentorship for someone to really fully understand you and see you and be able to guide you into a brand and marketing and portfolio and website that will actually totally blow your own socks off, much less every client who comes across your page. We are all here for a reason, my friend. And it is so easy to, one, not know what that reason is, but two, to get really lost and muddled with everything else that is out there, all of the other photographers, all of the other education. This is a bringing together of everything in my journey that has gotten me to where I am. And so if my coaching or my interviews or my anything that I put out there tends to resonate with you, Storyteller School is what will bring you into the next chapter of your journey, the next chapter of your life, where you really step into and own who you are as an artist and as a business person. So there's lots of really tangible, clear business advice, but it is all guided by your own personal experiences and your perspective with which you see the world, which is what really makes Storyteller School beautiful, is seeing and understanding who we truly are at the end of it and being able to translate that into a portfolio and website that is going to draw in the people that you are here to serve. So if that is remotely interesting, there is a link in the show notes that you can get on the little newsletter list that will walk you through everything that Storyteller Schools offers. And you will have the opportunity at the end of that workflow to be able to save up to $1,000 off of the group mentorship if you sign up before the end of December. So I hope that entices you, and I hope that you jump on that newsletter list. And without much more ado, here is KT Mary. Hey friends, welcome to the Tilt and Shift Photography Business Podcast. I thought I would share with you today a little learning reminder that I had this week. I'm not sure what your season might be depending on where you are, but right now mine is all wrapping up and I'm reaching out to my clients about their albums. If those relationships are, or if the experience is coming to a close, then I'm reaching out to them about testimonials. And we all know how important testimonials are for building authority, for giving your clients an expectation as to what to expect from you. And one of the things that I see happening with testimonials is that, one, photographers don't bother to ask for them. And two, the testimonials that they share are really generic. The point of a testimonial is for people to really understand what the experience is. And if your testimonial is just says, "Hey, Bobby's great. We were so happy when we got our photos. We loved it." The people who are coming to your website, it's not helpful, at least like it shows that you're not a jerk. It doesn't describe what makes you different. It doesn't reveal anything about the inner workings of your creative and wonderful brain. So the trick with testimonials is to help your clients write a testimonial that is going to speak directly to your ideal client. So how not to do this is by just saying, "Hey, would you be willing to leave me a Google review?" Because what are they going to do? They're going to do exactly what happened to one of my clients. So I'm pretty staunch about my workflow. Testimonials are a big part of it, and I come back to it multiple times in order to make sure that I'm getting a testimonial that I want from that client, especially if it's a client that I've really loved, especially if it's my ideal client. Recently, I got a review. I'm going to explain my process in a second, but what the wonderful person had done is jump ahead in my workflow. And so there's something that I needed to change about my workflow in order to make sure that I kind of stayed on top of the type of testimonial that I wanted. She's my ICA. Absolutely loved her whole family, all of her friends. They together were exactly the type of client that I want to attract. So I wanted to make sure that I got a really good testimonial, particularly on Google, because the more Google reviews you have, the better your SEO is going to perform. So, I mean, that's why we want testimonials, is particularly having them directly into Google. And if I haven't mentioned that already, so it's really important that you do these things. But what this keen bride had done was she just went ahead and left a Google review. And the review was generic. Despite the most magical wedding, the photos that I'm so stinking stoked about, that they're stoked about, they got a giant album, like everything about it. And then this review, I was like, shit, what did I do wrong to get this review? Now, the review simply says, "Bobby was fun. She did an amazing job. We have pictures that truly reflect our day. Highly recommend." Now, technically, it's a quote unquote good review, right? Because it's not bad. But we don't want good reviews, friends. We want killer reviews. We want reviews that people are going to be like, wow, she's amazing, or they're wonderful, or like, I've got to work with him. You need testimonials you need your current client to speak to your future client, as I mentioned. So this review, while it's nice, doesn't do anything. So how do you get a good testimonial, a helpful testimonial? How do you do that? It needs to be an integral part of your workflow. So what I do when I send them their gallery, before I send them the whole gallery, because once they get the whole gallery, there's not much left other than the album or the prints, but they can order those online. Depending on your album process, you're going to have more interaction with them. Hopefully you're doing those in-person sales with them. But once they get their gallery, there is going to be an element of overwhelm. No matter how much they love their photos, they're going to be a little overwhelmed. So if you give them a request for a testimonial after you send the gallery, it's going to be hard to get that back. I promise. In 10 years of doing this, testimonial requests that I send after the process, the return is much lower than if I send them after I send the highlights. So that's my own personal tip that I've kind of figured out, sending a request for testimonials right after the highlights because they're excited. They've just seen, 150, 200 photos. They've got a really good sense of what's coming up. They're even more excited to see the rest of them. And then I'm like, hey, can I get you to do a little review? And I don't just ask for a review. What I do is I send them very specific questions. So some of those questions would include, why did you choose me? Or what part of the experience did you enjoy most? Where are places where I could have improved? Like, I'm actually like do a bit of a staff evaluation. If you've ever been at work, like I ask for a full evaluation. um you can ask them what you want to know from them. What do you want your future clients to know about working with you? And ask them specific questions that are going to reveal that answer. So for me, I really want my clients to understand that working with me is very carefree. And if it wasn't, what happened? What could I have done differently? I ask them about how they found me, what that experience was like in searching for me. I ask them any type of frustrations or concerns that they had prior to the wedding. Did I address those? Were they resolved? If not, what could I have done differently? And specifically, what would you tell someone about your experience in working with me? So I'm not just saying, hey, can you leave me a review? I'm saying, what would you actually tell someone if you were going to sit down with a close friend to talk about your wedding experience? What would you say to them? And then, my friends, the testimonials are like a page long, and not only do I get awesome feedback, but I get so many different pull quotes that I'll be able to use in my copy and on my website. So, in creating better authority online, in creating a better experience for your clients, your testimonials are critical. And the way to do that is to set your client up with specific questions that you want them to tell your future clients. The best time I have found to do that is shortly after they get their highlights, before they get overwhelmed with all the other choices, because then they're really excited, as I mentioned, and they are wanting to communicate with you because they want the rest of them. Right? That's also a time when you could ask them all the types of information that you want for your blog, if there's certain things that you want to talk about when you post their blogs. But very specifically, be strategic as to when you send that testimonial request out. Ask them specific questions and then send them a Google review. So what I did wrong with this testimonial that I'm not super excited about is I sent the link for my Google review with the testimonial questions. And this person being someone who gets things done really quickly, she went right to the link, she clicked it, and she left a quick review. So it reminded me, and I usually do this, I'm not sure why I did it differently for her, but I usually send out the testimonial questions. And then after that, I said, hey, I asked them, will you leave this as a Google review? And then they click the link, they copy and paste what they've already written to me. So that was my blurb, but it was a good learning experience because now I can share it with you. So if you hesitate about doing testimonials, they're part of the business, my friend. People want to talk to you about it. They want to share. If you've made them happy, and also if you've need some brushing up around the edges, people generally are willing to do that with you, especially if you come at it from a really honest, open, generous place. People want to do that for you. And it's just such a great opportunity to improve your business, improve your communication, improve the experience that you provide for your clients. So the best time to do it is when they're excited. The best way to do it is to ask very specific questions. And the most effective way to get the educational testimonial out there is to ask them to copy and paste what they've already told you into a Google review. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for being here. If you're not sick of me talking about Storyteller School, Just a little reminder, the waitlist is open. The link is in the show notes. I want to hear from you all. It's going to start in January. I'm pretty stoked. Group mentorship program, it is the best. You learn all of this stuff, how to brand yourself effectively, how to find your innate voice, how to like reveal your most personal perspective that is really going to draw these clients in that love you so that you can build a sustainable business. We do that all in 3 to 4 months, my friends. So email me if you have any questions. You can DM me on Facebook. Facebook? No. Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram. All right. Have a beautiful day. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope that today's guest brought you a great value. I hope that what I have created here for you is helpful. If it is, please feel free to reach out. If you don't want to reach out to me directly, providing a little review, like leaving a review either in words or just in stars, immensely helps people to be able to find this podcast. So if you could take a couple of seconds to do that in appreciation for this, that would be amazing. And also if to bring us back to the beginning where I mentioned Storyteller School, being able to sign up for that so you can have access to a $1,000 discount before the end of December. So I hope to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you in the next episode.